Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about the Jelani Day investigation. It's a couple things that's a little mysterious to me that I want to get into, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, Jelani Day was reported missing on August 25th. August 26th, they found his car by a YMCA. Then 9 days later, on September 4th, in the morning time, they found his body floating mysteriously in the Illinois River. Now, the detectives did come out, or then the detectives came out and made a statement, or the police officers came out and the police department came out and made a statement about what happened. I'm going to let y'all hear a little bit about the investigation, and then we'll get into it.
Today, the LaSalle County Coroner's Office identified the male body that was found on September 4th as Jelani Day of Bloomington, Illinois. This was done through forensic dental identification and DNA testing and comparison. Currently, from LaSalle County Coroner's Office, the cause of death is unknown, pending further investigation and toxicology testing. For those who may not know all the information, Jelani Day was reported missing on August 25th, 2021 here in Bloomington. The family reported they had last spoken with him on the evening hours of Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Throughout part of the investigation, we learned that he was last seen on campus on August 24th. And then we learned some more information throughout the investigation that he was seen at Beyond Hello, a retail shop here in Bloomington. We released a lot of that information in hopes to solicit tips, on his location. On August 26th, Jelani's vehicle was located in Peru, Illinois. Based on the findings of that vehicle, Peru Police Department, along with other agencies, including the state police, did a coordinated search in the area. We collected a lot of evidence from the vehicle, and we were using a lot of that, evidence to go through digital data. So the investigation continued while we were combing through a lot of that data. We relied heavily on different agencies throughout the investigation. The Peru Police Department did a great job in helping with us, soliciting leads. They asked for a lot of camera footage. Throughout that part of the investigation, we got some more information that I can't specifically release, which led to a large-scale search coordinated by several different agencies and professional search agencies, which that was on September 4th when we located the body. So they started that search in the early morning of September 4th, and then located the body.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this video. I just popped in to say to head on over to FreeDomeApparel.com. We got our new hoodies out now. It's about to get cold outside, so go ahead and grab you a hoodie. We also have t-shirts. It's the Melanin t-shirts, FreeDome logo Apparel t-shirts. I have my ancestor t-shirts. So if you see something you like, head on over to FreeDomeApparel.com. Now let's get back into the video. Now this story started picking up traction. Especially when the Chicago Sun-Times put out this article basically saying that some of his organs was missing after they did the second autopsy, and they claimed to get this information from the lawyer, right? Now, after this happened, everybody, Twitter did what Twitter do. They were saying, what happened to his organs, and then they went back to the, the black people in organ harvesting, which is a big thing in, the black community or whatever. And that's why a lot of black people, they're told, don't check organ donor on their license because, you might be up for grabs. They'll see it on your license. And, of course, when you go to the hospitals and things like that, that is known. When they check your ID, they can see that. So people start going in about his organs, because if y'all don't remember that other story about that, I think his name was Kendrick. I can't remember his last name, but he was rolled up in that mat in the gym, and his organs was also missing. And then there was a lot of mysterious things that went on with that situation. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go Google it, and you will see how these two things correlate when it comes to the organs. Now, Chicago Sun-Times put out this article basically stating that the pathologist who did the autopsy used dental records to confirm the DNA. Now, I'm assuming that the body was just that, like, decomposed, that messed up to where, fingerprints or anything of that nature was not going to be able to identify the body. They had to use the teeth. I'm just going to make that assumption as the reason why they decided to use the dental records to identify him. Now, the thing about it, in this article, they was basically saying that the mom was reaching out to the other coroner's office about, is that her son? Because she have not been able to lay eyes on her son's body. And so they basically saying after she called, they finally returned her call and said, hey, we made ID using dental records. Right? We identified the body using dental records. But the mom has still not been able to see the body, right? And this is days and days later. Now, after that happened, it was said that the coroner's office had also removed different bones, and they sent it out for DNA analysis, but I don't know what happened. What happened with that DNA sample, why they had to go that drastic for, like, I don't know, like, why didn't they just choose the teeth and let that be part of it, and then the rest is what it is. I don't know if y'all can hear that in the background, but it is storming. It is hailing outside. Like, I almost need to go check because it's a tornado warning because that wind is pretty high. Like, okay. But let me get back to it. Let me hurry up and do this video. But yeah, so after all of that happened, they did a second autopsy, and they basically realized that a lot of his, well, I keep saying a lot, some of his organs were missing. Now, they would say that maybe it happened because of the fish and all of that in the lake, and still they did not allow the mom to see the body, to just lay eyes on it. So, according to the pathologist report, it was organs missing. That's basically what it is. Without going into deep detail and reading the complete article, I'm gonna just tell you what it say. The pathologist that did the second autopsy stated that organs was missing. Now, the weird part about this is that the grandmother and one of his brothers was actually able to view the body. I don't understand how they were able to view the body and they're not allowing the mother to do the same. So the mother wants to lay eyes on the corpse and say, hey, this is actually my son. She's not even for sure in her heart if that's her actual son. So if they let the grandmother and brother view the body, why won't they let the mother? And also, what did the body parts look like when the grandmother and the brother identified the body? Did she not talk to them about what it looked like? Did they feel like it was him? Did they just say yes? Like, I don't understand how that situation went. Now, after that article went viral, everybody was talking about it. The mother came back. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this video. I just popped in to say, make sure you head on over to FreeDomeApparel.com. I have t-shirts, Protect Your Energy t-shirts, It's the Melanin t-shirts, and my FreeDome Apparel logo t-shirts, and many more. I also have fanny packs, and I also have masks to match the t-shirts. If you find anything interesting, the link will be in the description box below. So let's get right back into the video. She started to debunk all the information, letting people know that the incorrect information that was being put out to the media, starting with an article talking about that she was upset with the FBI, and she said, hey, I have never spoken to anybody in the FBI. She made her statements plain, clear, and concise, and she has been misquoted. Now, also, one of the things that has been mind-blowing to some people about this situation is another thing that the mom came out and cleared up. Now, they say that her name is something and in articles, they like it's like they call her one thing, but her Facebook name is like a completely different first and middle name. But I do understand people do that on Facebook because my Facebook ain't my real name either. But I don't know, it be throwing me off a little bit because she got her Facebook name is not like it could be her nickname. I don't know her personally. But anyway, moving on. She came out on Facebook and made a statement and said that some things need and have to be clarified. No organs were missing. She do not want to stray away from the facts. There are contradicting facts from the first preliminary autopsy compared to the second one. She said this is not a case of organ harvesting that she's aware of. However, her son did not put himself in the river. Her son was murdered, and her goal and purpose is to find out what happened to her child and hold whoever's responsible accountable. Now, if the second autopsy have stated that there were organs missing, I don't know why she would state that this have nothing to do with organ harvesting. I do understand that maybe she feel like because social media took it and wanted to run with the organ harvesting story. We still do not know how did his body end up in the river. What was he doing in a part of town that he was in? Like, is that place near that YMCA? Is that a place that he normally visits? Is that not a place he would ever go? Like, I do understand that. She's basically saying let's not go digging deep into the organ harvesting part of the situation until we can find out how my son got in that river. So maybe that's why she's putting out these statements to get people's minds off of strictly organ harvesting and to go back into the facts of how did he get there in the first place. Now, I get it. I completely get it. Now, the other part that was put out on Facebook from the family, she said this came from her children, and they basically was saying thanking everybody for the support. But the part that I did want to get into is this. It says, per the second autopsy, the pathologist didn't have all the body parts / organs for the body they identify as our brother. Now, I don't know if they mean like what they mean. I can't even assume. I just need to know. So she said they didn't have all the parts. Also, according to the second autopsy, the pathologist was confused as to why the first pathologist did what he did to our brother's body to perform the autopsy himself. Furthermore, me too, I agree with them. I agree with the second pathologist. Furthermore, the second pathologist was confused as to why he didn't have the whole body, and we are under the impression that the state lab still has body parts in their possession. Also, there are major organs that are damaged or, in their words, mushed and liquefied. Now, we are not, let me go ahead and read this part before I say something. We are not taking organ harvesting off the table, but still our mother's wishes are not to make organ harvesting the main focus. Oh, I just said that. We are unsure if the whole body was there, so this is why we didn't do a burial. This is why we are in the process of getting a third autopsy done due to numerous amounts of conflicting information from the first and second autopsy. Now, what it sounded like is, on the first autopsy, dude picked apart the body, what was left of it, I guess, and I don't understand it either. I feel like we all know you can be identified by your teeth. Why didn't he just send teeth? Why is it that he didn't cut up everything? Like, I don't know. But furthermore, let's keep going. They say they have been keeping us in the dark, and we, the family, have been working to get answers. Due to the district, this is why we suspect foul play. They think the coroner's office did something for some reason. It says, for these reasons, this is why we won't / need the FBI involved in the case. Now, one thing I can say, well, I ain't gonna say I can say it, but I can't understand them trying to move the case up the ladder because they think that the county is compromised in some form of fashion. But I do understand the mother trying to say it's not about organ harvesting. But the kids say they're not taking organ harvesting off the table. They just want to know how his body ended up in the river. The thing about the organ harvesting is the reason why his body ended up in the river could have been because of organ harvesting. Now, there is the video out that the detectives put out. It's the second part to what I played earlier. And it's basically talking about that they had video evidence. Like, we know that one picture that shows them walking into a store of some sort, of dispensary or whatever that was. I think it was a dispensary. Don't quote me on that, but he was walking into something. But they just showed that picture of him, but they didn't show him coming out of that same place he walked in. Was there cameras on the outside that showed anything? There's video. It got to be video because that's pictures they showing is a screenshot of a video. So it has to be video of him being in the place that he was in. It's a lot of things that was not shown. I don't know why they would just put that out like that and not even give any context to it. Like, where's the rest of it? It's a lot of parts that's missing, and they did a whole autopsy and still don't know how he passed. Like, I don't know. That's a little off to me. They have done 2 autopsies and still do not know the cause of death. And I agree with the mother. I will not bury him until they can tell me what happened to him. Because you don't want to, bury somebody and then other things need to happen. Because it's just as expensive to put them in the ground as it is to bring them up out the ground. So, now the mom is on Facebook and she's saying how they, have not really done a good job with their investigation, referring to the county. So it's just a lot of mysterious things going on with this case. But now, one thing I do want to point out is when you Google Jelani Day, it keeps saying that he's Dapper Dan's son. I have seen reports saying that is not Dapper Dan's son. This is Dapper Dan's son on the left, and on the right is Jelani Day. They do have the same exact name, but as famous and as high profile as this case is, you would think that they would be corrected on Google in some form of fashion, because I don't know. I do know who Dapper Dan is. I'm not familiar with his son at all, but I'm just curious to know how many of y'all actually know who Dapper Dan's son is. Like, for him to have, I don't know. But, yeah, that's that. So, people who are into that other type of stuff, y'all know what I'm talking about. We have, not we, but people are saying that, some interesting things about this situation. I'm just leave it at that. But this is Dapper Dan's son Instagram. They do have the same exact name. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole situation in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. What mysterious things did I leave out the video that you guys may think is, a little bit, weird about this whole situation? Just let me know down in the comments. And that's all I got to say about it. I'm out.